Hello Papua New Guinea and welcome to this exciting episode of Sports In wherever you're watching around the country. But before we kickstart tonight's program, Rose, how have your weekend been so far?
It's been interesting. I got to cover the launch of the SP PNG Hunters season. That was last Friday night. I got to see the new 31 men's squad that will be in the Inter Super Cup representing PNG for this year. Apart from that, I also got to see the weightlifting trials. Douglas Mayer was overseeing the trials. He's one of the selectors. So very new lifters coming in, hoping to make the PNG side as well for the Pacific Games. So the sporting scene is about to get really busy from here on.
All right, and speaking of football, SP Hunters updates, and Rose, you've been catching up with the boys lately. What can you tell us about the preparation leading in towards the 2019 season?
Yeah, look, the 31 men's squad was announced last Friday at the NFS that's for the 2019 season launch, and among the new faces are the likes of Adex, Wera and Abavu. Butler Morris, Abavu and Adex Wera will be the well-experienced trio for the SP PNG Hunters this season, although PNG RFL has made it very clear of their faith in the rest of the squad. It's been 5 years since the Hunters first entered the Queensland Inter Super Cup, and while last season may not have gone as expected, there were achievements worth commending. The biggest one being the victory in the 2017 Minor Premiership on home soil and later the Premiership trophy at the Suncorp Stadium. PNG RFL CEO Wera highlighted those achievements during the season launch.
SP Hunters missed out in the finals on 2 occasions. In the first year in 2014 by a point when it was a top 5 finals format. Top 6 finals format came to play the following year in 2015. Last season we missed out in the finals, the 7th spot only by points differences in percentages after being equal on the 5th spot with 2 other teams. Towards the end of the year, last year, the Inter Cup CEOs meeting decided to change the finals format. And it's now a top 8 format to be introduced in this season 2019. SP PNG Hunters recorded history in 2017 when the Hunters won a double, a minor premiership at home and the Inter Super Cup premiership at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Memories will be treasured by those who witnessed this piece of history. These achievements and the SP Hunters performance throughout 2017 also saw Boas became the first SP PNG Hunters player to win the coveted Queensland Inter Super Cup best and fairest final medal. These achievements also saw the former captain win the 2018 SP Brewery Awards Mid Athlete of the Year, Coach Michael the SP Awards Official of the Year, the SP Hunters the SP Awards Team of the Year.
For this year, Adex Wera makes his return to the outfit, this time taking on the captaincy role as well.
When a coach tell me that they will give me this role to play your voice this 2019 season, I was nervous, but I tell them I'm happy to lead the boys this year. So yeah, thank you. Thank you to your coach and your coaching staff and both and everyone here tonight for putting your support to move, bring our team through this year.
The Hunters utility will be leading 30 men this year, and their first home game is on the 17th of March against the Northern Pride in round 2 of competition.
Abavu. Rex Calvert, back row lock. Charlie Simon, reliable. I'm pleased to present to you the 2019 SP PNG Hunters team participating in the Inter Super Cup.
And SP PNG Hunters Chairman Graham Osborne acknowledged past players who have gone on to greater heights, while reiterating that players who have not made a cut this year for the Hunters and are in Digital Cup are still under observation.
We were able to bring in 60 players. And we've had 60 players for a while, and then some of them fell by the wayside, and some just got a bit much for them. But we're monitoring all those people, even though they're not with us now. They'll play Digital Cup, other things that we'll monitor. We're now left with a team of 31. 31 was not probably our number that we wanted. We wanted probably a bit less. But let me tell you that the competition between the 31 players and the way they've trained, and the way they've conducted themselves, and the way they've presented themselves has made it very, very hard for us not to end up with 31 players.
5 years ago, we teamed up with the SP Hunters and we told the world, let the hunt begin. Our 2019 campaign focuses on one team effort to overcome challenges. Hence our new tagline, Hunt One Time, or Hunt Together. Show your support by using this tagline. On behalf of SP Brewery, I would like to wish the SP Hunters the best season.
Good luck to you all, Hunters. Let the hunt begin. Thank you.
Yellow, congratulations to the Hunters and all the best to their preparation leading in towards the 2019 Intra Super Cup season. But up next, we talk football. Stick around. Welcome back to Sports Scene, and in this segment we talk football. And the organisers of the New Guinea Islands Kumul Petroleum NSL Conference and the people of West New Britain embraced the country's top competition with high regard for the first time when it was first played in Kimbe last weekend. And like any other big sporting event, there is always little mess-ups here and there right up to the 11th hour. However, Kimbe did it with style and passion for the game and made the day all the more memorable and satisfying for the followers of football. We follow New Guinea Islands NSL coordinator Tonga Esira and his team as they set up the stage for the significant milestone in New Guinea Islands football history. With the Southern, Northern and Highlands conferences already a step ahead with their round of competition, the New Guinea Islands was the last conference to complete the 4-region Kumul Petroleum sponsored semi-professional league. Looking on over the stadium, Tonga Esira, the NGI NSL coordinator along with his technical team, faced with the race against time to prep the stage for the official kickoff just hours away. And working under pressure could spell trouble.
Measuring field, yeah, the whole field, and then me putting peg that's all again. I stop. So this morning, me plus no spoke up na help him all na. Same time pull him line at the same time mark him. But they were too early. Only come mark him. So that's why measurement no straight na. Me plus come back. So we have to remark the line marking again.
The line had to be removed and remarked with exact measurements.
I mean. Line man lo makim line technical official staff here. I think me one block so me try to teach him all nubla mangi, but me give him measurement lo only come thinking so only kiss him. Also makim lo is supposed to 6 yard only kiss him go along 2 meter inside. So now only make him me looking on some line go lick now. Me to him make him mistake finish so. I mean need long policy map Tesla back mistake you me make him long. Because me try lo call him a senior referee blame him lo piwa, but I mean no respond lo me lo morning. So I try my best to teach him on Nubla Mangilong, come up technical groundsman, look line marking, now measurement look.
On the opposite end of the stadium, no need for safety straps or ladder, the flags hoisted and banners going up. Everyone seemed to have something to contribute to meet the deadline. As the clock ticks on and crowds slowly making their way into the stadium along with the arriving teams, Kimbe was to witness a significant milestone in their football history.
Well, I think a lot of preparation is done on the 11th hour. The field preparation and markings. These are supposed to be done yesterday, but I think it's a little bit late for doing it today, but hopefully we'll get it done and prepared for the first match. Also, with the nice sunny day.
Despite all that, a confident Asira appeared calm, saying all is well. As confident as Asira sounds, they were the young guys who volunteered to assist with the preparations, who couldn't be more happier than seeing the NSL played in their hometown.
Ama mas true lo luki mo se NSL em campaign jay lo province blo mipla osol mangi blo Kimbe street pikini blo Kimbe mipla mas lo take part na lo side lo make him this la game must come up, must fulfill, so we must come up true yet come up good pla mi play mo mas true lo sports foundation to lo accept him this la only allow him NSL or come inside play lo Kimbe, we make him bring thinking lo mi blo you to set mi blo around nothing too but mi blo again focus long all dreams lo especially lo sports side lo build him this la good la sportsmanship inside lo mi blo one planting mi blo around nothing this la kind but lo this lam come up mi bung him plant your youths mi blo come take part mi blo mas lo this lam come up na thank you
And Cebu Arab, who traveled miles to get here, can only settle for one thing, winning their first NSL match.
Osem first time lo mi bla na mi pili mol sem all boys blo mi all confidence mi bla kat trust mi bla osem mi bla can play long higher level long here long this la NSL league.
With all that said and done, the first match between FC Radas from the eastern part of the New Britain Island and Cebu Arab from Bougainville are about to set the stage for their historic clash of the NGI conference.
Memorable event then, most probably the first biggest event to happen in West New Britain, that's at the Motherwell Stadium following the PNG Games. How has it been? You went there, you covered the games. What's your take on the crowd and them and the love for football?
Dineros, look, out there, the crowd, they really love their football. The West New Britain people, they're known of playing football. We have some of the big names like David Muta and them involved in the National Soccer League as well as representing the country, and the turnout there was amazing. It reminds me of the 2017 PNG Games that were held over the new Sassi Motherwell Stadium, and it was jam-packed. And we had a lot of people traveling in from West New Britain as well as the locals at West New Britain turn up in big numbers.
I think the highway is one of the links that's helped them to, be together for the event as well.
Yes, definitely. And of course, the president of Football PNG, John Capinato, was there with the delegation. They were there to do the official kickoff ceremony, and then the match went underway. Yeah, look, Dineros, before I talk too much, the first match was between Radas FC and Cebu of Arab FC of Bougainville, and the second match was a local derby between West New Britain or West Tribe FC and NBPOL Green Gold, and it was a phenomenal match. But let's take a look at the highlights and what actually unfolded during the event. With a world-class stadium and decent crowd, West New Britain stood proud among other football conferences. At the ceremonial opening, PNG Football Association boss John Capinato was grateful and emphasized on how far football had come to that part of the province.
That's what today is. So you know that this is the dreamer. You know today looking man cutting field that play football here. Because you got dreamer, you got vision that you must take football you. So all of the people must play, all the young people play. You must build dreams no more. So it's not that you know that this is.
With the formalities setting the pace for an entertaining fixture, it was fitting to say the match could end in a tiebreaker. But with that said, the coin toss in the first half didn't favor either of the two sides. West Tribe in blue sought points in the opening minutes of the game, pressing up in their attack and taking chances. Green Gold, in a rather yellow outfit, played defense and counter on their opposite end of the field. Aerial saves and challenges from the goalkeepers of both sides proved entertaining for the arousing audience, but finding the back of the net was a bit far from reach. Eventually, both teams were inseparable, with the final whistle seemed as if both sides needed that to recoup and start over in the next outing. Despite the match ending with a scoreless draw to start off their season campaign, there were some happy fans in the crowd and even the coaches.
Tupla team lo nara province buka na Rabaul lo can play lo Kimbe. Thank you. Mila Kimbe must develop lo kind game also na.
It was nice to enjoy watching the game, and it was good. Initially coming into Kimbe, it was nice.
It means a lot for the company. NGI is, I'd say, one of the core places or key places where football has grown, soccer, and they have produced many a good player for Papua New Guinea, both male and female.
But otherwise, there's like game only from that 2 trial matches only come hard. People expect him by come out.
I would like to acknowledge especially my team managers and my sponsors, especially NBPL, which the association that brought up this team. So I will thank my board, my team manager, all the officials in the team who have contributed so much to bring us to be today.
The New Guinea Islands has never been short of playing talent. This was proven once again when Cebu Arab FC's lone striker Daniel Apako scored a double in his club's historic 4-0 thrashing over FC Rodas in front of a capacity crowd at Sasi Mutuville Stadium in Kimbe town. The vocal crowd braved the scorching heat, displaying plenty of energy in the atmosphere. Arab started the match with a bang after controlling most of the ball possession early in the first quarter. Rodas were left shell-shocked of what just happened, but slowly retained composure and played the rest of the half, chasing points on end. The thought of drawing an equalizer soon faded for the visitors as the Bougainvilleans' experienced midfielder Ferdinand Kasi created space to set up young Apako for his second to put his team 2 goals clear at half-time. Finding themselves chasing points in the second half, Rodas needed to score first to stay in the game. But scrappy ball plays and miscommunication cost the team. A formidable Arab defense kept Rodas at bay, with most of the shots taken either off target or saved by goalkeeper Anthony Wagum. More salt added to the wound in the 67th minute when forward Jeffrey Bryan scored his first and his team's third for the afternoon. Cletus Noneng soon followed with a goal of his own to put the scoreboard beyond reach for Team Rodas. The soft-spoken Arab coach Peter Kauma said he was satisfied with his team's performance and congratulated young Apako for his effort. Yeah, look, congratulations to the people of West New Britain, and we look forward for exciting times of football ahead. But we'll take another break now, and on the other side, we talk Pacific Games preparation. You don't want to miss that. Stick around. Welcome back wherever you're watching around the country. You're watching Sports Scene. And in this segment, we feature all about the Pacific Games preparation, our team's preparation towards the Samoa 2019. And speaking of that, Dinros, you've been following our team very closely. What's the latest update on our team's preparation at the moment?
Yeah, look, the aim is to bring over about 527 athletes, and they will be representing PNG at the Pacific Games in Samoa. And it is very important that all deadlines set by the PNG OC are met. So I decided to catch up with PNG OC General Secretary. She's also the Justification Committee member, Ovita Rapila, and she speaks more on that in this interview.
April 26 is our deadline for the final traveling team. Obviously, April 26 because we have to purchase tickets, traveling tickets, and entry by names as well. This is ensuring that we are then able to put names to events, especially for individual sports. So April 26th is our deadline, and making sure we're able to do those final entries online, meeting the Games Organizing Committee deadline. So we set our deadlines. PNG Olympic Committee sets the deadlines that we'd like our sports to meet so that the PNG Olympic Committee then can meet the Games Organizing Committee deadlines. So that's really important for us to make sure that sports meet our deadlines so the PNG Olympic Committee can meet the Games Organizing Committee deadlines. So the standards we've set for the 2019 Pacific Games is that The athletes should be at least top 2 in the country in the national ranking, and top 3 in the Pacific. So those are the game standards that we've set for athletes to be considered for the Pacific Games. There's also best of the rest policy, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure we're taking athletes that are going to go and come back with medals. That's what we'd like to see. We obviously have that challenge before us, having won the Games in 2015, and the challenge that was given to us by the Prime Minister to try and win the Games on foreign soil, and that's what we want to achieve. Win the Games at least on foreign soil, but to win the Games on foreign soil, it also means that we're taking the best athletes and best prepared athletes. We didn't have the same kind of support that we had for the 2015 Games. We had unprecedented level of funding from government preparing our teams going into the Games. Unfortunately, we haven't had that the same kind of support, but we're working within the limited resources we have to support the sports in their preparations. So it is a big task for us, but we need to also be realistic in terms of our targets to achieve.
Now, moving on to weightlifting, it is one of the codes that's always delivered medals for Team PNG. Now, the pressure is on them to prove their worth once more in July at the Pacific Games and the trials on Saturday at Hanwha. So, PNG lifters Towa Udia and Lorraine Henao-Harry among the lifters who took the podium under the watchful eyes of veteran coach Douglas Mayer. Individual lifters are yet to be confirmed, but one thing's for sure, the weightlifting team will be part of the contingent that's traveling to Samoa. And the entries by names to the PNG OC for Samoa 2019 due yesterday, Weightlifting Federation has not made any indications as to who exactly will make the team. Although Saturday's trials at Hanwha saw over 20 lifters, male and female, taking the podium in their efforts to make the cut, some of whom have represented Papua New Guinea before as well. Among them were the likes of 2015 Pacific Games 77 kg gold medalist Towa Udia and fellow lifter Lorraine Henao-Harry. For our Elite 6 lifters, a confirmed absentee will be the younger of the Towa sisters and 48 kg lifter Thelma due to personal reasons, although PNG Weightlifting Federation is yet to put out a final team. Elder sister Dika, on the other hand, is still currently in training at the Oceania Weightlifting Institute in New Caledonia. Now, still on Team PNG preparations, the PNG archery team is a 7-member team with names already confirmed, and the team as follows.
And it's time for another break now, and up next, post-match, all the latest you need to know about football. Join us after these short messages. This weekend's draw, the Southern and Northern Conference heads into round 6. In Southern, Star Mountain FC will test their fate against the might of Hekari United in the opening fixture. Table runners-up Central United will chase down a win against FC Bougainville. Young Guns Southern Strikers takes on Port Moresby United in their third match, and PRK Golf Kamara versus Eastern Stars in the main game. All matches will be played at the Sir John Guy Stadium. in the Northern Zone, Tusbab Stallions will host heavyweights Toti City Dwellers at Lai Warden Oval in Medang. Makam takes on Besta in Lay. Lahi FC will face Morobe United for another local derby at the St. Ignatius Klaga Stadium in Lay, while Lai Warden FC will play host to FC Morobe Wowens in Medang on Sunday. Up in the Highlands, it's round 4 and Enga Lima will line up against Blue Kumuls in the opening fixture. Kagwarave versus Simbu FC and Mount Hagen FC will lock horns with Aporo Mai FC. All matches will be played at the National Sports Institute in Goroka. And in the NJ Conference, Radas FC will look to bounce back after their last weekend's thrashing in the hands of Cebuarob FC when they face the West Tribe at the Ceremonial Park in Kokopo, East New Britain Province, while Green Gold versus Vudal Gazelle FC. And Cebuarob is on a bye this weekend. The Bowes brothers doing wonders with the Featherstone Rovers in the UK. The duo was again directing play from the halves in the match against Halifax. The Featherstone Rovers displayed their top 5 passes with an emphatic 46-16 victory over Yorkshire rivals Halifax at the foggy LD Nutrition Stadium over the weekend. PNG's fastest woman Toya Whistle is making a comeback in the limelight after returning to Goroka for some early competition in mid-January. The 100-meter record holder resumed training at the National Sports Institute with a number of Pacific Games hopefuls. She did a PNG qualifying A standard time in the 100-meter and B standard for the 200-meter in Australia and is looking forward to performing on home soil. Whistle says running with the younger athletes will push them to run better times. It will also help her get good results. She will contest the 100, 200 and 400-meter races in Kimbe the week of March 6th to 9th. Welcome back. You're watching Sports in. Football and soccer seems to be dominating tonight's program. But we did a profile on one of the top coaches in the Intra-City Cup competition, and that is none other than Glenn Nami. He's a big name in the competition as well. One of our representative players back in the early 2000s as well as the 90s. And now he's taken up the coaching role. He did well for the Goroka Lanis. They finished first, the grand final winners of Intra-Super Cup last season. But he was left without re-signing his contract for the 2019 season. So Glenn decided to join the new team this year, and that is Mendy Muruks. I spoke to Glenn after the coaching conference over at the National Football Stadium just earlier this week, and he told me some of his goals and objectives in achieving with this new club moving forward. So without further ado, let's take a look at an exclusive that Glenn Nami did with our sportsing team. Let's check it out. All right, first of all, Glenn, thank you very much for making this time available for us to do this interview. I'll start by asking you, how was the transition like for you as one of the top coaches in the DSL Cup competition, coaching a team who's finished first in the grand final last year and now coaching Mendy Muruk? What was the transition like for you?
They've released me from the team, and it's something that I can't control. It's the it's the board and the franchise decision to release me from the club. I'll be honest, I don't know what the reason is, and I don't know why, but you know, after not getting all the answers to my questions, I was left. I had nowhere to go and no club to take part with, but my interest in coaching is still there, and I want to develop as a young coach. I want to develop and get all the experience that I need, and that's why I had Mandy Muruk's, the board approached me and asked me to go over and coach them. I had other offers from other clubs as well, but you know, my thought was to go to a place where I think they need support and help, and not in terms of rugby, but to build a good culture in the team and develop a culture where it's positive and it's it's better for the players to enjoy.
So what are some of your objectives or goals that you want to implement in the team and see the team carry forward towards this new season, 2019 season, and especially as a coach for a team like Mandy Muruk's?
I've been talking to the boys last couple of weeks about improving. Our main aim is to improve from where we finished last year. So we're not aiming big yet. We just aim small, doing the little things right. We have a trial on Monday to trim the squad down to 25. So once we have our 25, everything gets into full swing, and we look forward to a season. But in between, we might have one trial or two trials, depending on the programs that we have at the moment.
So just for the sake of our viewers out there, most of the fans will have high expectation to the players to perform, at least raise the bar a bit higher compared to last year's competition. And with you as a high-profile coach coming into the team this year, what will be your personal message to most of the fans up in the Southern Highlands to actually come out and support the guys who will be taking part in the competition in all fairness of sport and without having that expectation towards the boys? What will be your message to them?
I'll be honest, one thing that I've found out in the last 2 weeks up there, they have there's been other politics that's been affecting the performance of the team and such, but one of my aim now is to make everyone, like every Southern Highlander or Southern Highlands people up in Southern Highlands, get behind their team, feel responsible, feel that that's their team, and everyone must embrace and have the passion for Mandy Muruk's, and everyone must love and get behind Mandy Muruk's. My side of success wouldn't be like winning a grand final or something, but on the other side of the coin, we want to improve and use rugby as a tool to improve lives, improve improve lives and help young people understand that they can leave other negative, things like tribalism or social issues that are affecting their lives. They can put that aside and take the sport they love, play rugby, and maybe it can give them the opportunity where, like I said, boys like Tantan, Wellington, Albert, coming out from local leagues like Mandy, they can have that same opportunity if we give them if we create that pathway, and if we show them the pathway that they can be part of. And yeah, so one of my biggest aims is to make Mandy Muruk's, make every Southern Highlander feel that that's their team, embrace the team, have a passion for the team. Every young kid walking around, they must dream to be part of this team. They must dream to one day wear this black and white jersey. And yeah, so that's one of the things that I want I want to make Mandy a team where everyone living in Southern Highlands be part of. And the team must be the people's team, where everyone gets behind the team and support.
Yeah, look, all the best to Glenn Nami in terms of preparation, leading this new team into this Intercity Cup season, and that will happen in April. So
yeah, and I'm sure with his experience, he should be able to lead them in the right direction, maybe possibly one of the finalists.
Yeah, probably move up another notch compared to last year. They finished not on good points, but this year hoping they can at least finish third or fifth in the competition. But anyway, it's time now for a final break, and up next we wrap things up here in Sports Scene. Don't go away. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now moving away from football and rugby and to cricket. Dineros, what have you got for us?
Yes, two of our international and CPL levels, Brenda Tau and Vicky Ara, have continued a good form playing for the Ipswich Hornets in Brisbane. That's the women's first grade competition, Catherine Raymond Shield.
Yes, and following their standout performance in the Australian Country Cricket Championships in Victoria in January, the two girls went back to play for the Hornets post-Christmas thanks to the Port Moresby RSL scholarship funding.
Ahead of the ICC Women's World T20 and 50 over World Cup qualifiers in May, CPL PNG lower Brenda Tau kicked off her campaign with a wonderful inning. Opening the batting, she finished with a stylish 60 not out of 54 balls, while Vicky chimed in with a quick-fire 17 of 14 balls to close the innings. The win allowed the Hornets to progress to the finals of the T20 competition. Unfortunately, they were eliminated in that final, but Vicky still shone with an unbeaten 34 of 39 balls. They will return to the capital next week to join the rest of the CPL lowers in preparation for the upcoming qualifiers to be played in Vanuatu from the 6th to the 11th of May.
Dineros, it's always good to see our women, especially women, taking part in international sport as well as representing our country and playing abroad in teams such as Australia. And yourself, you've been following cricket.
Yeah, look, the CPL lowers, it's not these two women are not the first two to, have a gig with overseas teams, which is always a good exposure for them. Previously, there's been other players that have taken up gigs overseas as well, and it's helped them with the performance as well to maintain the #1 sport in the region. So it's good for these girls that are out there now.
All right, exciting times for our girls, and hopefully our Barramundi guys can also do the same, representing other clubs overseas, playing for overseas clubs as well, and I believe they will get there. They are the champions of the Pacific.
They've actually had a few overseas gigs as well, the individual players. For now, they will also be featuring at the Pacific Games, so there'll be a PNG side coming out from the bars and the lowers and making the Team PNG team for Samoa.
Yeah, look, definitely. Good times for cricket ahead, but just before we go, we preview on what's coming up this weekend, especially for sporting events in the nation's capital, as well as Lay in Mount Hagen over at the NZI. So, Dineros, what are you covering this coming weekend?
This coming weekend, I'll be following more trials and preparations for the Pacific Games. Special note to take for all the federations out there. Obviously, yesterday, 27th, that's Wednesday, 27th of this month, that's the deadline for all entries to go into the PNGOC for the Justification Committee to review and come up with the confirmed team for individual sports for Samoa 2019. Now, another reminder, 27th April is the other deadline for officials and everyone to get their all other information into, so PNGOC can start preparations such as getting the tickets and all those stuff ready for travel, because by then we will be definitely just less than 100 days away from Samoa 2019, and we need to be behind our team as well, the 527 athletes. PNG is always patriotic when it comes to sports and carrying the PNG flag out there. So I'm sure everyone will be waiting to see what happens.
All right. Yeah, look, and if you are interested in us featuring a sport in your local suburb or area, you can always find us on Facebook, send us an invite, or check us at emtv.com.pg. Check us online or drop by at Garden City, 2nd floor here at Baroko, and ask for either Dineros or I, and we'll be more than happy to feature your sport in our program. But that's it for now, Dineros. And it's been wonderful, and looking forward to see you guys next week, same time, same place. I'm Shane Saroya.
And I'm Dineros Raiko.
Good night.